In this video, I'm going to reveal the 9 millionaire productivity secrets that will allow you to significantly boost your productivity levels and 10x your business. These same productivity secrets have allowed me to go from being a depressed and anxious guy who couldn't focus to now running a profitable online business and loving life. Secret 1. Anticipate potential distractions. You've got to understand that the number one productivity killer is distractions, interruptions. Because think about this, if by default you are not distracted, you are focused. So becoming more productive then becomes a game of simply removing distractions. And most of the time, what steals your focus and your time away from you, it's not what you would think. It's not the obvious things. Like you might think that the reason why you are not productive is because every day after work, you watch a bit of Netflix. In reality, it's all of the small, seemingly insignificant things like when you're working, getting up to go make yourself a cup of coffee, or because you forgot your laptop charger, or somebody knocks at your office door, they interrupt you because they wanted to say something. This is what we call death by 1,000 cuts. You would think that the thing that killed you was being stabbed in the heart, right? But what if it was all the other wounds? So if you have people in your environment, make sure that they are not going to distract you, that they are not going to knock on your office door to come and say something that can wait. So tell people that you're going to work and to focus deeply, and that if they want to say something, it would be best to do it at a later date. Then the other thing that you want to do, and this one is a crucial step, is that you want to put your phone away. Like they say, out of sight, out of mind. Because if you have it on your desk, literally right across you, whenever a notification pops up on your screen, it's going to be immensely distracting. And even let's say you don't get any notifications, you turned off the Wi-Fi, you put it on airplane mode. Just because it's there on the table, staring at you, you will be tempted to use it. The objects on your desk are going to distract you. So like I said, out of sight, out of mind, put it away. Now you want to deactivate the notifications on your computer as well. Because honestly, you're not going to be able to do productive work, deeply focused work, if you have notifications constantly popping up on your screen. Studies have shown that every time you get interrupted, it takes about 15 minutes to get back into the flow of what you were doing. Because you have to understand that every time you focus on something, you start doing an activity, whether it be the gym, reading, working on your business, you are entering what we call a flow state. It's a state of concentration where you are immersed in the task that you are doing. But every time there is a small interruption, a notification, somebody talking to you get up to go get a charger, for instance, you are disrupting that state of focus. And now to get back into it, it's going to take at least 15 minutes. Secret number 2. Eat the frog. Eating the frog means doing the hardest thing first. And it's not easy, let's be honest, because it's the thing that you feel like doing the least. It's the hardest task. However, you need to understand that in life, if you make the easy choices, you'll have a hard life. But if you make the hard choices, you'll have an easy life. It's basically delayed gratification as opposed to instant gratification. The easy choice right now, the instant gratification, it is to procrastinate and to go play video games, to go watch Netflix, to go do something else, something which doesn't require any effort and that is pleasurable. But that is going to lead to a hard life because you're not going to get what you want. While taking action, doing the hard thing, is going to lead to a quote-unquote easy life because you'll have what you want. You will make more money. You'll be able to get a higher quality of life, to afford more comfort. Now, if you really struggle to actually go sit down and just eat the frog, so to speak, what you can do to incentivize yourself to go and do it is to give yourself a reward after. Like if you have to write an essay, if you have to reach out to potential customers and you hate it, allow yourself something that you like after. Sometimes it's really the only way to actually motivate yourself enough to go and to do that hard thing that you despise. But as long as you get it done, it is worth it. Secret number 3. Exercise before work. Ever since I started to exercise before I begin my workday, I've noticed that my productivity levels are significantly higher throughout the rest of the day. And it's got other benefits as well. I mean, to begin with, you're a lot less likely to miss a workout as opposed to if you were to work out in the late afternoon. Because in the late afternoon, plans can come up, your friends can hit you up and say, you know what, let's go out. And you might be tempted to. However, when it's the early morning, you pretty much have no distractions. And by starting the day by doing something challenging, something which is difficult and painful, like physical exercise, it's going to build momentum that is going to carry on with you throughout the rest of the day. When you complete an intense workout session, you're not going to feel like just watching Netflix all day, unless you really pushed yourself hard and you gave it your everything. It might happen, I'll grant you that. But usually, seeing that you've done something difficult, you feel driven to keep going. And you'll notice plenty of successful people get up early and exercise before work. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do this, otherwise you won't be successful. Don't get me wrong. But it is a great habit in my opinion. Secret 4. Daily sunlight exposure. I can't even tell you how much this habit changed my life. I used to always feel tired. Like, not even just tired, sleepy. Like I would want to sleep. And I couldn't figure out why. And it's not like I had a bad diet or a bad sleeping hygiene. In fact, I was eating healthy, exercising every day, sleeping at the very least 9 hours a night, yet I was still exhausted during the day. It even got to the point I needed to take 2 naps every day. That is huge, especially since I wasn't sleep deprived. So I thought I might have sleep apnea. I mean, what is going on? I don't understand. But it turns out none of that is the case. Blood test results showed up just fine. I was simply not getting enough natural sunlight every day. So now I make it my clear priority to go outside and to get the sunlight I need. If it's a bright, clear day, I'm going to stay outside for 5 to 10 minutes. If it's cloudy or rainy, I'm going to stay for 15 to 30 minutes. And usually, honestly, it's not like I feel like spending 30 minutes outside, especially if it's raining, it's cloudy. So I just set the timer for 15 minutes and I just do some kind of active meditation, I guess, and wait for the 15 minutes to be completed. And you might think, oh, this is such a waste of time. But trust me, when I had to take 2 20-minute naps a day, when I had no energy, it would kill my productivity. So it is well worth it to spend 10 to 30 minutes outside every morning. And besides, while you're doing that, you could be, if you want, scrolling on your phone on social media, or you could do like me, reply to client emails, stuff like that. Now, if you get up early like me, the sun is not out yet, so it's not like you can go outside directly. So what you want to do instead is to use a light therapy lamp. I use it for around 30 minutes while I eat breakfast, while I review my emails and stuff before I go to the gym, and then when I am done with my workout, that is when I get my daily sunlight exposure. Secret number 5, go deep. Our world is a pretty shallow world. People don't really go deep nowadays. They just care about the materialistic things that you see on the outside. Why do you think I post pictures of luxurious things on my Instagram? Because if I just post a picture of myself working, people are not really going to care, are they? Doing deep work is going to significantly increase your productivity levels like nothing else. Now, not every activity can be turned into deep work. It's going to depend. But if you have a task to complete, what I usually do is that I set a timer for 45 minutes up to 50 minutes, and then I focus intensely on the task. I make sure the doors are closed, there are no distractions. I have my headphones on and I listen to binaural beats. Then I take a break and I repeat that a couple times a day. And the reason why this works so well is because studies have shown that on the average 8-hour workday, people are only actually being productive for 2 to 4 hours a day, which is honestly nothing. So they could cut down their work hours in half and get just as much done, if not even more. The reason being, most people focus on doing shallow tasks. The problem is, oftentimes, those tasks do not move the needle forward. So train yourself to go deep, and trust me, you will not regret it. Step number 6, delegate. That kind of comes back to what we're saying, but most people focus on things that simply don't really move the needle forward in their business. They're focusing on the things that don't actually matter. The downside of doing this is that while you work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, you might feel productive, but you don't actually get real results. To give you an example, if your goal is to build muscle, you go to the gym, you start doing some bicep curls. It's an easy exercise compared to doing some bench press or squatting or deadlifting. However, is it going to build as much muscle as squatting, deadlifting, and doing all of those big compound lifts? Of course not. So what I invite you to do is to use the Eisenhower matrix to decide whether you should do that task now, later, or if you should delegate it to other people, or even eliminate it completely. Secret 7. Eat more frequent smaller meals throughout the day. Now I get that this might sound counterproductive at first, because how could eating more often make you more productive? Wouldn't it be the opposite because you're constantly digesting? Well, the thing is, if you eat big meals, it's going to leave you in a food coma every time. So that is why if you truly want to do deep productive work, you need to make sure that you eat healthy. Because if you eat a big pizza, which is worth 1,500 calories for lunch, you take a beer with that on top, no wonder why you feel like sleeping all afternoon and your afternoon is not productive at all. And even if you eat healthy, if you eat big meals, it's going to take a lot of energy for your body to digest them. So personally, what I prefer to do is to eat smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day. Each time you eat, you'll get a slight boost in energy, and it gives you some nice breaks that you can use to refresh your mind and to come back to your next deep work session more refreshed, more ready to crush your work session. Now, I used to do intermittent fasting when I was younger because I stumbled upon YouTube videos and I thought that it looked great. But the thing is, I would not eat until lunch, but before lunch, like around 10 a.m., I would go and exercise. I would lift weights. But following this schedule, I would find that I would stay skinny and weak, and I was honestly wondering why. Truthfully, plenty of gurus online are going to claim that you need to intermittent fast. It's the best thing you can do, but not every solution is made for everyone. For some people, intermittent fasting is going to be great, amazing. For others, it is going to be horrible. So if you want to try it, go ahead, I'm not stopping you, but I don't personally recommend it. And if you think it is necessary necessary to become successful. It is not. Just look at billionaires. Do they all intermittent fast? No. Secret 8. Active rest. A lot of people don't think about this, but what you do outside of work also matters. Now, I'm not saying that you should never watch movies or never go out and have fun, never go and party, never do any of that stuff. But you can use some of your time outside of work to, for instance, exercise, to learn, to read, to practice an instrument, to do things which are going to positively improve the quality of your life. If you have a business, for instance, you could spend some more time reading about business, reading about successful startups, reading autobiographies of successful people. Doing this will give you more ideas because you've got to understand that your subconscious mind literally takes in every single thing that you see. I've personally found that when I block out all the noise, all the distractions, and I just focus on my work, and then when I'm not working, I'm just reading or exercising, I get a lot more business ideas than when I do other things as well, simply because my mind is only focused on that. Secret 9. Less is more. Wouldn't you love to work less, yet get better results? Honestly, everyone would. Luckily, it is totally possible. The way that you get ahead of 99% of people by working less is by using the 80-20 principle. This principle states that only 20% of the actions that we do actually bring us 80% of the results that we get. In business, only 20% of your customers could be bringing in 80% of your revenue. If you grow a YouTube channel like me, you might realize that only 20% of your videos actually give you 80% of your views and of your subscribers. Things are not distributed evenly in life. In the world, for instance, 20% of the people have 80% of the wealth. So I invite you to ask yourself, what are the 20% of activities that bring me 80% of the results? If you have a service-based business, 80% of your time should be spent on client acquisition, on reaching out to more customers, on closing more deals. If you have a YouTube channel, 80% of your time should be spent on publishing more content. Those are the activities with the highest return on investment. In the gym, if you want to become stronger, to build more muscle, this would be focusing on the big compound lifts, as opposed to spending all of your time doing only isolation movements. Now, if you apply the 9 productivity tips we have just talked about in this video, I have no doubt that your productivity levels are going to be significantly higher, allowing you to achieve so much more. Now, if you are an ambitious individual, you want to start your own online business, but you have no clue how to start, I have recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together, we'll take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I am also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can start using today to start your business and to get your first customers. If you are interested, the link is in the description below.